Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to go over my TBR for pretty much the rest of the year. With it being the holiday season, I didn't want to overwhelm myself too much with trying to read through too many books because I know I'm going to be very busy. And then I guess the other part to that is I have been very much in a reading slump recently. And since I'm just kind of trying to get back into the habit of reading, I didn't want to overwhelm myself with that either. And then the other thing is it's kind of a crazy story. I thought to myself, for the month of December, I wanted to pull a bunch of Christmas books. And I know that at some point in my life, I had quite a few fiction Christmas books, like romance and all sorts of different things. And when I went to go find them, I found out I only have two fiction adult books. And I was like, where did it all go? And I think a couple years ago, when I decluttered a ton of books a few years ago, and I think I got rid of pretty much all of my Christmas books. So with that being said, I need to start collecting some Christmas books this coming year so that by next Christmas I have some new Christmas books to read. So I only have two Christmas themed adult fiction books. But then what I ended up doing, I pulled another one that is one of my favorites, so we'll get into that. And then you may not know, some of you may not know, I also collect children's books. So I did pull some Christmas children's books. And then I also collect cookbooks, so I did pull a Christmas cookbook. So I'm pretty themed up for Christmas. But yeah, I just couldn't believe that all my Christmas books are gone. But let's go ahead and jump into this, and I will show you guys the ones that I'm going to read. So first off, now I've never read this one before. This is called A Christmas Promise by Thomas Kinkade and Catherine Spencer. And it says, let's see, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and Cape Light has received two special Christmas guests. James Cameron, a minister who runs a mission in Central America, has decided to spend the holidays in Cape Light. But when his car collides with another car, a hint of trouble befalls this close-knit community. No one is hurt, but out-of-towner Lee Baxter is forced to stay in town until her car is fixed. What she doesn't expect, however, is that the charm of this beautiful seaside hamlet and its citizens will soon win her over, and that she will fall in love with James, who has so generously welcomed her into his life. But will James accept Lee in his heart once her dark secrets come to light? In the meantime, Jessica and Sam Morgan's relationship is put to the test. More than anything else this Christmas, they want a baby to call their own, but soon they'll discover that life's most precious gifts often come in unexpected packages. So this sounds like it could be cute, definitely. I think it's going to be an easy read as far as it doesn't sound like there's any major drama or anything in this one, so kind of a cozy read. The next one, this is actually a book. It's got three different stories in it, like shorter stories by three different authors. This is called Christmas Spirit, and it says Love Bless Us Everyone, and it's by Elaine Fox, Lee Greenwood, and Linda Winstead. And it looks like this. And so the first one is by Lee Greenwood. It's called Bah Humbug, and it says advertising exec Nate Jerome wanted to go somewhere hot for Christmas, but when his beautiful neighbor Millie Thurston offered holiday cheer, their passion and the spirit of the season made the tropics look positively Arctic. The next one is called Christmas Present by Elaine Fox, and it says when Susanna Murphy returned home for Christmas, a late night savior taught her the secret to happiness and the meaning of true love. But was his appearance the hand of fate or something a little more wonderful? And then the last one in this book is called Blue Christmas by Linda Winstead. And it says Jess Lennox didn't date musicians, especially handsome up-and-coming ones, but her future rested on a ghost of a chance to realize that Jimmy Blue was a gift from heaven and that a Christmas of true bliss was just a star away. So again, since those are three shorter stories, I figure it's going to be an easy read, probably get through it pretty quickly. Now, the book that I decided to pull that's not exactly a Christmas book, and I have read it before, it's actually one of my favorites, is A Year on Ladybug Farm by Donna Ball. Now, it's not a Christmas book. However, the story starts at Christmas and then it ends at Christmas a year later because it takes place over a year. So I figured that kind of works because it is very, Christmas themed at the beginning and at the end. And this is, it says, tired of always dreaming and never doing, Cece, Lindsay, and Bridget make a life-altering decision. Uprooting themselves from their comfortable lives in the suburbs, the three friends buy a rundown mansion nestled in the picturesque Shenandoah Valley. They christen their new home Ladybug Farm, hoping that the name will bring them luck. As the friends take on a home improvement challenge of epic proportions, they encounter disaster after disaster, from renegade sheep and garden thieves to a seemingly ghostly inhabitant. Over the course of a year, overwhelming obstacles make the three women question their decision, but sometimes the best things can happen when everything goes wrong. Now, this is the first book in a series, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely love I actually don't even own the entire series. I have the first 3 books, and it's just such a great series. So if you've never read it, this is definitely a good one. Next up is, I pulled one Christmas cookbook, and I pulled it because honestly, it has beautiful illustrations, plus some of the recipes sound really good too. And it's called the All-American Christmas Cookbook, and it's by Georgia Orcutt and John Margolis. Very vintage, very vintage pictures, and it is just beautiful inside. Like I said, it's all sorts of vintage pictures, recipes that sound just amazing. So I figured this would be a fun one to flip through and see if there's any recipes that I want to try, but then also enjoy the vintage pictures. And I think, and now that I'm actually kind of looking at this, I think what it is, there's recipes from all the different states. I think. Yeah, the All-American Christmas Cookbooks, family favorites from every state. So as you go through, it has, Alabama up here, and then it's got recipes from there and so on and so forth. So I think that's going to be super fun. And then the other ones that I pulled are Christmas or children's books. I love children's books. I'm not going to get too deep into it right now. And I actually may have more children's Christmas books. In fact, I think I do, but I think they're buried right now. So I need to find those before next Christmas. But these are the ones that I did have. So the first one is The Joy of a Peanuts Christmas, and it's 50 years of holiday comics. And it's just a whole collection. It's not just a Charlie Brown Christmas. There's all sorts of different comics that are Christmas themed from Peanuts. And then to kind of go along with that, I have both copies, the vintage copy and the new copy of A Charlie Brown Christmas. So this is obviously the vintage one. As you can see, it is in some pretty sad shape. In fact, let's see. When is this one from? Oh, geez, I don't even see. Here we go. This one is from 1977. So there's that one. But then I also have the new version, which is, obviously, it's the same story, but it's updated illustrations. And, of course, the front's got glitter, and it's all sparkly and fun. And then I also pulled, these actually aren't children's books, I guess I should, well, one is, but one isn't. They're not really what I would consider a children's book necessarily. It's, maybe it's an adult story that a child, could enjoy. The first one is actually, it's a collection of 3 different stories, one of which is a Thanksgiving story and the other 2 are Christmas. It's the Modern Library original, and it has A Christmas Memory, One Christmas, and The Thanksgiving Visitor, all 3 by Truman Capote. So This is a great book. So all three are, shorter stories. If you're not familiar, Truman Capote is the one who also wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's. So he's a fantastic author. And the three stories, I have read this before. The three stories in here are just very, like, they're heartwarming. They're just, I don't know. I love the three stories. So I have the three stories in there, but then I also have kind of like the children's version of the Christmas memory one. So it is kind of like an illustrated copy. So yeah, there's that one. So that is everything that I am going to be reading from, obviously I know it's not December 1st, but it's going to be for the month of December, and then also, the remaining part of November. So let me know in the comments down below what kinds of things you are reading. And also, if you have any recommendations for some really, really good Christmas books that maybe I should be on the lookout for through this year before next, December, let me know. As far as books go, I don't want anything too sad. Like, I really hate sad stories, and I'm not really into like murder type stories. I don't know. I prefer love stories, romance, just kind of everyday life type stories. And like I said, I love children's books and cookbooks too. So you could even include some Christmas, recommendations for that too. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you next time.